Greetings, everybody. Dr. Tina here. So, what do I know about coaching an engineer? Well, for those of you who know me, looking back 10 and 20 years in my own engineering professional life and as an engineer in the facilities and construction industry, I was accustomed to having a great team around me for most of my professional life. A point had come in my own career where I saw my peers and colleagues accelerating professionally, and yet I was stuck. I recognized that I was stuck, especially when close friends were moving forward. I had hit, I guess, what we call the proverbial brick wall. I was very fortunate that I had an excellent mentor who suggested that I myself engage an executive coach. I asked why he couldn't help me get beyond where I was stuck. And his sage advice and wisdom to me was that he felt he was too close to give me objective advice about my professional stagnation. Of course, I thought, what? Engineers don't hire coaches. I mean, come on now, we don't hire coaches. We are smart enough to figure this out for ourselves. I must admit, though, that I found it ludicrous to pay someone to come into my work life and coach me on my work methods when I had been successful up until now. And so up until now is a critical part of the becoming unstuck process, I discovered. Fortunately, my strong mentor and reason prevailed, and I made the investment in myself. And clearly, hiring a coach is an investment in myself, in yourself. For me, the investment in an executive coach was a watershed experience. I can't stress enough how significant this experience was for me as an engineer. Through coaching, I developed deep self-awareness, albeit the experience of learning about myself was excruciatingly painful. This first journey into self was the most revealing yet most difficult road my logical mind had ever traveled. Through the experience, however, I discovered that I had created my own professional brick wall, and I was the only person impeding my professional advancement. Go figure.
Hi, my name is Stefan Wiedner, and I'm one of the co-founders of Numi.com. Today I'll be interviewing Dr. Martina Carroll-Garrison. So welcome, Tina. Is it okay if I call you Dr. Tina?
Absolutely, Stefan. Absolutely.
Okay, great. So tell me, Dr. Tina, who is your ideal client? What challenges are they facing when they contact you?
My ideal client are STEM community scientists, technologists, engineers, mathematicians, high-performing individuals that are in need of moving beyond their linear thinking, their intellectual skill set, and moving into the domain of emotional intelligence.
What is their state when they're coming to you? I'm guessing that these individuals are not readily asking for help with their emotional issues. Is that true?
That's very true. That wouldn't be in their vocabulary in the first or maybe even in the second session together. But my job as a coach is to help them articulate that shortcoming. They come feeling stuck or feeling awkward about transitioning to their next professional level or wondering why they're not transitioning to that level. And I help them walk through where they are on their journey to see what parts of themselves they haven't developed or haven't known to develop. And with the STEM community, with scientists and engineers, I typically end up coaching in the realm of emotional intelligence.
Do you have a certain set of tools that you use for emotional intelligence?
It's an awareness building process. And certainly this is a very intelligent community. They're not incapable of understanding that journey into self, but it really is through I use the Georgetown model of believing that the individual is fully capable. My job as a coach is to ask them the questions to explore their own awareness, or really for engineers to awaken their awareness of emotional intelligence.
What kind of things do your clients report after working with you? I'm really curious how they might articulate the benefits that they received.
Some recent examples, a sense of clarity about work-life balance and how that was unclear to them before, how that was unachievable, and the significance of creating that balance and the significance of creating meaning in their work relationships other than pure function of getting something accomplished.
Tell me a little bit about your background and how you even got to this place where you're now working with scientists, technologists, and engineers.
So, Stefan, I'm an engineer myself from many, many years ago. And when I say that now, most people don't believe me. And I kid and say I've evolved. But actually, I was that person 25 years ago that I want to coach today. Definitely lacking self-awareness, self-insight, totally committed to the project at the expense of all the victims that laid bloodied on the ground around me. And I was very fortunate to be sent for some deep self-awareness training in my early 30s. And from that point forward, there was no turning back for me. And I just found this to be of great intellectual interest, but also great emotional interest. And I enjoy helping other technical people get out of their head and into their heart, into their body, into their feeling as opposed to their thinking processes.
Thank you, Dr. Tina. It's been a real pleasure interviewing you today.
Thank you, Stefan.
Okay, if you're an engineer or a scientist and you're feeling stuck, let me give you an hour of my time to walk through the process of becoming unstuck. This is free help. Take it, make the most of it, and understand that only you are stopping you from being the highest and best engineer, scientist that you can be.